Hey, Dirt Farmer Jay here from dirtfarmerjay.com. A couple weeks ago, Dirt Farmer Maggie posted a video of this on our Facebook page showing the delicious homemade raisins that we make from our vineyard. Well, stick with us and we'll show you two different techniques we use to produce these raisins. Let's suppose you want to make raisins. Well, there's a couple ways that we do that. One is using an electric dehydrator like this unit you see here. And in a moment, we'll show you a passive solar unit that we've used using a window screen. This type of dehydrator uses an electric filament in it, a heater filament, and a fan to slowly move air across the surface of whatever fruit you're drying. Now, these are meant to operate if you're doing fruit, somewhere between 135 and 145 degrees Fahrenheit. And dehydrating, I'm going to tell you, whether you use solar or you use one of these, is a slow game. It is a lesson in patience. It's not a microwave, it's more like a crock pot or maybe a smoldering campfire, but you get the idea. It's slow. You can't be in a rush, and the reason you can't be is because the process slowly extracts the moisture out of the interior of the fruit, and in the case of raisins, makes the outside leathery until now it's safe to eat after long-term storage at room temperature. So that is a great way that nature's provided us to be able to preserve food. Now, when you dehydrate, remember that the flavors intensify a bit, and you need to use fruit that is intact. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to remove the grapes off of the stem. And you're going to do that. I put it in a big bowl of water as we go. That way all of the different particles and pieces of broken stem float off to the top. And we're able to just take the grapes, shake off the moisture, and put them onto our trays. Don't use really crushed up or damaged fruit. You want to use intact fruit so that it gets that nice leathery intact surface, and it bottles better and it looks great. Now, we do this in our dehydrator. Depending on what your model is, you can see with these trays, it's somewhat of a large screen that is through here. And grapes, as they size down, will have a tendency to drop through. So what we do is we use standard pieces of fiberglass window mesh that has been cut to size, and we keep these sanitized, but we always cover these trays before we do dehydration. And therefore, as the grapes shrink down into raisins, they have no way to fall through the screen. All right, now, what do you get as you go along? Like we said, this is a slow process. These have been dehydrating for several days now, and there'll be different textures. Something like this is ready to go. It is slightly soft, rolls a little bit in the finger, or this one's even harder, but those are ready to go. Other ones by feel, here's a good one. You can see that's really mushy, and it's still got a lot of softness in it. It's not ready yet, and if you just put that in a jar, it would probably rot. So that needs some more time. So you're going to let this run, and what we do as we get closer to the end, we actually go through and sort. So there's one that's ready to go. It's big, but we'll sort them out and then continue to dry the ones that need further attention. So this is one of the types of units you can get. This one happens to be an STX Dehydra 600 watt, and you can certainly purchase these online. And there's other models too. There's circular ones or cylindrical ones. That's up to you what works best for you. Now, if you got a plethora of grapes, but a very small balance in the budget or in your wallet, then there's a passive way you can do this using a window screen. And let us show you how that works. Wow, it is really bright out here, and good thing it is also, because the heat and the ultraviolet rays of the sun are what is going to do the work for us of dehydrating our grapes under this system. Now, this is a passive system. It consists of a window frame with screen that was recovered from a building materials recycling center. And then we purchased another piece of fiberglass window screen and used binder clips, or regular office binder clips, to clip it over it. The first step is loading the system after you have destemmed and put out the grapes and washed them. you put them on top of the screen here. The second then is covering this and then clipping it down. And as you can see, we've actually weighted this down. I use some steel track that is usually used for steel framing systems and buildings to provide support and also air passage under each one of these bands of grates here. And then these blocks hold up for breezy conditions. Now, a couple things under this type of setup. Number one, you want to make sure that rain isn't in the forecast, because it doesn't really help to have water dousing on this. It could probably actually lead to a little bit of decay or mildew or problems with it. So dry, dry, dry is the first rule of order. Secondly, if you're in dusty conditions and it's really windy, then it's going to compromise the taste of the fruit. So make sure that you've got a covered area or that dust isn't blowing in on it. Number three, patience, patience, patience. This batch of grapes has been drying for well over a week, and it's actually been turned once before. The flies will come along and try to get on a bit because they can smell the sugar in the grapes, but they can't really get to it. Well, let me have you come around here and I'll show you what the grapes look like now after about a week of drying. So let's go ahead and take off a little bit of weights right here. We'll pull off some of our clips and you can get a first look at how this will work. All right, there's our grapes. And as you can see, you can kind of manipulate these around. They're still very soft to the touch even after a week. So these are not ready yet, but I'll simply work through the whole batch and turn them to expose different areas of the grapes to them, redistribute them. We'll put down the cover again like this, binder clip it all back together, weight it down, and wait several more days. Passive, slow, and cheap. Good combination. Man, oh man, this is some great eating. If only I could now get Dirt Farmer Maggie to turn these babies into some oatmeal raisin cookies. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, seriously, if you found this video to be helpful to you, why don't you like it? Better yet, subscribe to our channel. Until the next time, this is Dirt Farmer Jay from dirtfarmerjay.com.